All right, good morning everybody. It's the first white blazes of the day. Walking out of Port Clinton, Pennsylvania, and it is Saturday, 9th day of June. And today makes 11 even weeks on the trail. 77 days. And between here and Delaware Water Gap is the famous or infamous super rocky sections of the Pennsylvania Trail. So over the next 4 or 5 days, I'm sure I'm going to have my hind end handed to me royally, but I'm going to keep pushing on, get through here, and get out of Pennsylvania. Man, I got to tell you though, Port Clinton was a super accommodating town. Everyone at Port Clinton Hotel, Frank at the barbershop, man, I didn't get his name, but he was actually sitting in the chair having a haircut when I went in there. He's one of the fire company guys here in Port Clinton. He gave me a ride over to Hamburg. Buddy, I'm sorry I didn't get your name, man, but if you ever see this, I really appreciate it. And I couldn't go without mentioning Eddie. Eddie's a good soul, man. He gives rides to hikers locally, primarily from Port Clinton down to Hamburg to resupply, but even further out he stretches as far as Duncannon, and I'm about to walk past the trail. He picked me up over in Hamburg, gave me a ride back over to Port Clinton, and wouldn't take a dime for it. Does it out of the kindness of his heart and to set a good example for his daughter. Eddie, man, if you see this, really appreciate it. That was very kind of you. It was awesome to meet you. And good luck with the future with your daughter. You're setting a wonderful example for her. All right, hitting the trail. Gonna roll along the river here for a bit and get on up there. I'm sure there's not gonna be many 20 mile days in these next few days, but we're gonna peck away at it and chip away at it and get it done. So let's put some tread on the trail and we'll see you up there. Man, hopefully I'm not feeling like this frog after the next few days of rocks. Man, this is a pretty river. I wish I had time and a PA fishing license. Spend a morning or two fishing this river. There's a couple guys over here living the good life, man. Wading the river and wetting the line. Boy, that brings back memories of old days. Ain't that right, Rick Scalf? If you see this, buddy, that's us right there. Man, how peaceful is that river? Got a john boat or a canoe floating through here. Kayaking. That is a pretty sight right there. So I'm not sure what today's going to hold. It's sort of up in the air. I'm not sure what kind of pace I'm going to be able to maintain through those rocks, so I hesitate to really throw a goal or a destination for the day out there and disappoint myself. But I think I'm going to shoot for a minimum of the Eckville shelter, and I believe that's roughly 15 miles, and that might be all I can get, but it depends on how the day goes when we get there. If it's early enough, there's the Allentown shelter, but man, that's adding about 8 more miles, so that's looking at a long day on the rocks. Not sure I can pull that off. We'll see. Man, look at this one. I got an old friend I grew up with, and happy to say we're still friends today. Slime, I don't know if you watch these, man, but if you see that, I had no idea you ever been to Pennsylvania. But your popularity apparently precedes you up here. All right, man, right away the trail hits with a climb, but I think it's a little more laid back than the descent was yesterday. Looks like it might have a few switchbacks on it. But I tell you, it's the simple things that make you smile early in the morning, like a hiker who was up ahead of you. There's a guy who looked like he was slack packing, had a smaller pack, came into the woods right before me. And that means old Bird Dog won't be sweeping the cobwebs off the trail this morning. Last couple mornings, that was me. Constant face full of cobwebs, but thanks to this guy, he's just out of sight up there. I can smile, and that won't be me today. Good times. Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, 10th of June. That makes today day 78 on the trail. The Eckville shelter is about a quarter mile down the road there. Just finished a little road walk back up to the trailhead here, and gonna head on up. Yesterday did somewhat of a short day. It was only 15 miles out of Port Clinton up here to Eckville shelter. Treated myself to a little early stop. I hadn't stopped early in a long time, so got in there about 2:30 and just kind of hung out and talked with all the other folks hanging around. Tented across the street. Rained all night. It's raining right now, so the rock gardens up on this ridge are going to be slick. Going to be super slow again today, but I hope to make it to Bake Oven Shelter. I believe that's 18 miles, 18 or 19. I don't expect to get in there early because it's going to have to be really slow going today and just really be patient. But if the trail's better than I think and I do get there early, I might reevaluate, move on up the trail. I think the next shelter, though, is a long way off, so it won't make too long of a day. And then at some point up there, there's an area that used to have a zinc smelting plant, I guess, and it's covered under the Superfund Act, and there's a big Superfund cleanup project, and they're doing a lot of work around there. But the downside is you can't drink the water in like a 20-mile radius of that site. So at some point, I'm gonna have to camel up and carry a bunch of water. Yeah, that's what it is. Got to make it happen. All right, I hope everybody's had a good weekend. I'm gonna head on up the trail and we'll check in later. All right, I just topped out the climb up from Eckville Shelter and I'm on the ridge top. And usually these ridge lines are the rocky spots, but man, look at this trail. This thing is buff. And kind of reflecting and thinking on this, a couple days ago, I made a little short segment. I think it was in my last video. I uploaded that. Basically said Pennsylvania sucks, and it now occupies my least favorite, worst, whatever descriptor you want to use, section of trail. And after reflecting on that, I think that I was a little premature, because I believe I was sort of psyched out by what I know is to come. Still haven't hit that real rocky section yet. But man, there's only 60 miles left in Pennsylvania. So in thinking about all the trail, there has been a whole lot of trail like this right here. Some very smooth and scenic through pastures and some ridge walking like this. A lot of double track. So I'm going to respectfully retract that statement that Pennsylvania is up there on top of the least liked list. Yesterday had some amazing views from the pulpit and the pinnacle, and that Eckville Shelter was amazing. Had a flush toilet privy, a solar shower, a completely enclosed bunkhouse, and an amazing grassy area for tinning. So I'm definitely changing my feeling about Pennsylvania. That, along with the hospitality of essentially everyone I ran into in Port Clinton. So yeah, I'm gonna, for the world, respectfully retract that Pennsylvania sucks kind of rant that I had the other day. One of these days I'll tell you what is going to replace it as the worst section. But I'm going to hold off on that. I'm not going to make that mistake again. But so far so good this morning. Cruising right along. Alright, this is the view from Dan's pulpit. And I have to say it's one of the best in Pennsylvania. There is a heavy duty mailbox up here with a logbook inside. That thing is beefy. I would go out there on those rocks, but they're just wet enough to be super slick with that lichen and moss on them. So I'm going to try to make a good decision and take these pictures from back here. Sure is pretty though. The trail just came right over this pile of rocks. See the blaze up there. Man, I have to say, a steady all day downpour is not the best scenario for coming through all these big rock gardens. It really makes this stuff slick. Just gotta really slow down and watch your foot placement. Take your time. There ain't no rock hopping today. The guidebook calls this section knife edge. And it's probably pretty fun when it's dry. But I imagine it's going to be kind of treacherous when it's wet. We're about to find out though. Man, I tell you, that knife edge traverse was kind of sporty in the rain. Just took my time, made sure I had really good secure foot placements, and tried to have them placed where if they did slide, they would slide into either another rock or a crack or something, not completely off the edge. But that would have probably been kind of fun when it was dry, but it was definitely sporty today. Got across it though, good times. Now we're just in some other random rock garden, heading towards Bake Oven Shelter. I think I'm about 3 miles out. Calling it quits there for today. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, 11th day of June, about 7 o'clock. Heading out of a campsite near Bake Oven Knob Shelter, and don't really have a destination for today. Going to play it by the rocks. Today is day 79 on the trail, and I hope to be out of Pennsylvania by noon on Wednesday, if the rocks will allow it. Yesterday, actually night before last, rained all night. Woke up in the rain, rained all day yesterday and most of the night, but this morning it's not too bad. Still a lot of water falling out of the trees when the wind blows, but otherwise, pretty good morning. The rocks are still going to be slick though, so it's going to be slow going. Another long, slow day, but kind of expected that to get slowed down here. Don't want to get too caught up in making the miles and make a mistake in these rocks, that's for sure. Alright, well, looks like the smooth piece of trail just wore out, so gotta get my poles in my hands and get on up the trail. Yeah, it's going to be another one of those days. A rocky kind of day. That's the Lehigh Valley down there, and right up across the bridge and up the road to the left right there is where this climb started. And it goes way up there. It's a big climb. Pretty steep too. Let's get up there. Bridge is getting further and further away up this climb. What a great view though. Came down off of that knob over there, all the way down to the bottom, crossed the bridge, turned right, went up the road a little bit, and then started this climb way down there. This climb is legit, man. It is no joke. There's a lot of fourth class scrambling on here, and we're only about halfway up. Man, that climb up out of Lehigh Valley down there was steep. Some fourth class scrambling. It's a lot of fun. Again, brought back old rock climbing days. Just cruising down the smooth trail now, trying to make up some time. A long way to go today. There's a bear right over there. I just can't find him again. He just went running through the woods. He's just being really still. We'll probably never see him. Right in there somewhere though. Pretty good sized joker too. Oh well, guess we missed him. Couldn't get my phone out in time. Just popped out of the woods at Wind Gap, and the climb up out of here is the climb of the day. So I think I'm gonna take a little break, have a snack, get some drink before I head up that climb. We'll see when we top out. Heading down to Delaware Water Gap. 2 miles to go. And Pennsylvania just wants to show that they have rhododendron tunnels as well. I don't know that I've been in one here. So, the sun's out really bright today, so this is a pleasant surprise. It's about 10 degrees cooler in here. Good times. Down there's the Delaware River, and I assume that's how this town gets its name, the Delaware River, or Delaware Water Gap. And there's definitely a gap in the mountain right there. So I don't know if that's it or not. All right, here we are. Down off the mountain and walking into Delaware Water Gap, Pennsylvania. It's been a good day. I think it was 20.2 from the shelter to here, and it's 3 o'clock. So, made pretty good time. I'm gonna get on down here to the post office. Have a resupply box there. I'm gonna get that. Got an item or two to pick up at the outfitter. And then I'm gonna go tear up some lunch at the diner before heading up to the motel. Oh, that's gonna be a relaxing evening. Check in a bit. All right, man, this is me walking up this crazy long hill to the Delaware Water Gap Country Club. Couldn't get a room in any other place, so I got one there. But they failed to mention it's like a kilometer up this crazy hill. And I'm carrying my resupply box from the post office and all my gear on the back. So after a 20-and-a-half day, not what I want to be doing right now. But I'll get up there. It's all good.